Welcome to SOS Media, your number one source of the latest news, opinions, and in-depth investigations that dig deeper into today's developing stories around the globe. In 2022, R. Kelly was sentenced to 30 years in prison in a New York federal courthouse in Brooklyn by Judge Ann Donnelly on alleged racketeering, sex exploitation, bribery, kidnapping, forced labor and violations of the Mann Act charges. Kelly's supporters and enthusiasts were not happy with the judgment.
Me and my mama living out of suitcases. I went from black guys to rockin' black ladies. Lord have mercy. Now you see me in that all white blue mercy.
This was a harsh sentence based on so many unclear allegations, and many of Kelly's supporters hypothetically equated it to an unfortunate life sentence for him. During this trial, it's the racketeering charge that took center stage, especially when prosecutors alleged that during the successful 30-year music career Kelly enjoyed, he at the same time allegedly operated a criminal enterprise aimed at exploiting young women. The Assistant U.S. Attorney, Maria Cruz Melendez, during her opening submission alleged that R. Kelly wasn't operating the enterprise alone, but rather with other members of his inner circle. We are aware that both international law and U.S. domestic law provides for criminal liability for involvement in a criminal enterprise, implying that merely being a member in such a group is sufficient to warrant prosecution, even without additional evidence that a particular individual committed any other crime. It's also clear that domestically, participation in racketeering activity is penalized under the Racketeer Influenced and Corrupt Organizations Act, commonly referred to as RICO. It's thus quite very difficult to comprehend the fact that Kelly's associates, especially Daryl McDavid, who was his former business manager, and Milton June Brown, a senior assistant, were also not indicted in New York even after their names featured several times in the witnesses' submissions. Any sane person can never stop wondering why Kelly stood trial, and was charged alone even after it was alleged that he headed a criminal enterprise. You therefore find it difficult not to believe that this was a witch hunt targeting an individual, R. Kelly, and no one else. What further raises our eyebrows is the fact that the two federal charges in Brooklyn, New York and in Chicago were not combined. This is a rare scenario, but it was unfortunately seen as the preferred choice when it came to R. Kelly. To date, no one from the federal government has tried to give this any explanation whatsoever. It is also equally unusual to hear of a racketeering case where the organizing members were left out of the trial process. But this surprisingly happened for R. Kelly's case. Easy to note is the fact that, had Chicago dropped that second case against Kelly, it would mean that McDavid and Brown would have never entered any courtroom. These suspected enablers of the alleged accusations and coordinators of the alleged enterprise were acquitted of any charges. I also strongly believe that the government has had noticeable loopholes in handling R. Kelly's allegations. Some of the witnesses should be investigated and charged for telling lies about the R&B king. It is also obvious that some parents of the alleged victims provided a leeway for their daughters to reach Kelly and on most occasions lied about their ages. All they were targeting was Kelly's money, nothing more. Enterprise or not, I still have the belief that R. Kelly will win his appeals and be freed from serving sentences he doesn't deserve. Thank you for watching today's video, brought to you by SOS Media. If you haven't subscribed to our channel yet, please subscribe, and hit the bell icon so you never miss any of our videos. Also remember to leave your comment about today's topic in the comment section below.